Good evening, darlings. So, after I made the video sort of giving a short update about Bard, I got, well, a slew of questions that sort of were follow-ups about either what I said or things that happened in that video. So I'm going to try to sort of clear them all up here, starting with the thing I got the most questions for. So let me go ahead and read them now, since they're all basically the same question. Millie Drupet says, I see an arrow in the background. Is Bard leaving things around the house again? I also received from YouTube, from Leah Gloria Duncan, daughter of Greg, I see an arrow in the background. Did Bard forget it? And then I got 3 different anonymous questions from Tumblr. One says, is that Bard's arrow? Another one says, Bard seems to be leaving his arrows about, isn't he? And then finally, is that arrow Bard's? Maybe you can put it in a quiver. I'm going to ignore the last one because of the implications it has. But I thought I should sort of talk about the arrow that was featured and sort of the importance. So that was still during the New Year's period, which lasts for a bracketed amount of time around New Year's. It's not just sort of New Year's Day is here and you throw things out. You still have almost a week afterwards where your New Year's decorations do remain up. So the arrow is actually part of the Japanese New Year's. So you can see it doesn't have a real head on it, although the fletching is rather real. The knock on the back is, let's see if you can see it, sadly would not do very nice things to your bowstring. Now, this arrow is supposed to, and you can see it has sort of an enma, although it doesn't have the place to write on the back. It has the name of the shrine where you got it. And then, of course, it has the little prayer paper here. Now, this is to help you obtain a target. So typically you keep this by your house shrine as sort of a way to hope that for the upcoming year, those things which you are seeking to accomplish, that you will reach them, that you will stay on target. I've also heard, although I don't believe it's actually true, that it's supposed to be a demon-slaying arrow, so any demons in your way of accomplishing your goal, it shall also take care of. So every shrine does have these during the new year, and so different shrines will have different things. I think it's this is sort of a fairly common one to have whatever zodiac year it is, to have that animal. But, you know, some shrines are more famous for one thing or another. I know a lot of them have an association with a particular type of animal or deity, and so often that will be sort of thematic as well. And sometimes they have more than one option. So sometimes they'll have the zodiac year and then also something more thematic for that shrine. But this is our local shrine, and since we had already gotten 2, we got a 3rd this year. So that it's sort of, you know, we've been getting them every year. So, so yes, it's been rather a nice tradition. And then, of course, on the new year, when you go to get this, one of the many things that you also need to do at the shrine is to give over the previous year's one and have it burned. Because, of course, you don't throw away anything that is holy, that the gods have given you. It's something sacred, so you can't just throw it in the trash. That would be disrespectful. So instead you give it over to the priests, and they burn all of the previous year's New Year's decorations. Anything that you have like that, you turn in right before the new year, and it gets burned away, and then you get the new stuff, and everything's all clean, and everything's happy. So that's what the deal with the arrow is. It's not Bard's in any way. It's mine, thank you very much. Also, I'm sort of surprised, everyone sort of thought Bard, I mean, I know he has the whole Bard the bowman thing, but I'm an elf, and a wood elf at that. You don't think I know how to shoot a bow? I mean, archery is sort of a big thing for us. So I will admit it was a little insulting. And there's so many insinuations that come as a result of people just assuming that it would be Bard's and not sort of my own, although I will admit I tend to be a little more tidy with my place than he is with his. Oh my gosh. You know, you'd think after he sort of rose to his proper prominence, things would be a little neater around the place, but the man doesn't let servants do anything for him, and it is a shame and a half. You should never ever go to his place unless there's a big event so that he's been forced to clean. You really don't want to see. That's why I always invite him over here. It's really better that way. So anyhow, darlings, thank all 5 of you for the question. And I will get to some other things that were asked. And then, of course, a lot of you have had an interest in the cooking videos, so we will also be getting to a bunch of cooking videos. So until next time, darlings, thank you again so much. Cheers and ta-ta.